Hey guys, it's Michelle.
And Brandy.
And this is Spooky Shit. So this week we're going to be talking about rejection killings. Brandy's going to be starting.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about Lisa Trubnikova.
And I'm going to be talking about Mary Unique Spears.
Warning. This episode may contain graphic details. Listener discretion is advised.
Yeah.
Take it off, Brandy.
Woo! So Lisa's birth name was Lisa. Lisa A. Bergnala. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Great start.
Super cool.
I already knew that. I figured that out.
You want to say that sentence over? You get feeling confident. Let's keep it in.
Lisa A. Bergnala was born on March 13th in 1983 in Midland, Texas, to Louise and Virginia Bergnala. That was...
Can I keep your sigh of relief after?
Yeah.
That was a hard one, guys.
Hard start.
Yes.
She graduated Midland High School in 2001. She attended Midland College for a bit before transferring to the University of Houston in 2003. In the summer of 2008, she joined the United States Coast Guard. She honorably served many units throughout her career, mostly IT units or stuff.
She's computer smart.
Yes. In 2011, while attending U.S. Coast Guard A School, I'm not sure what that is, but
it's okay. It's
maybe,
a thing.
Maybe you...
Someone out there knows what we're talking
somebody
about.
knows what that is, A School. She met and fell hard for Anna Trubnikova.
Gay. It definitely did that clipping thing or whatever. I'm so sorry to whoever has headphones in while you're listening to this, but I'm keeping it in.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I just got really excited. I was like, a guy with a traditionally female name, or
nope, it's gay.
The worry was there.
That's why I chose this story.
I'm jealous already.
Gays. So they started dating after both being stationed in Kodiak, Alaska.
Wait, is that? Oh, I was thinking Kodiak Bears is where your guy got attacked by. I was like, is there a grizzly involved?
No, not in this story. They got a Oh.
Did they now? That's so cool for them. They got it.
I was way off. They got engaged.
Ooh.
And eventually married on December 30th, 2011.
Was it legal to get married then? Or in some states, huh? I guess some states it was.
Shit, I should know this.
I know. I should half know this.
I should half know this. Because you're only half gay.
Yeah. I know it wasn't all over the U.S.
I
remember, 2012.
But I remember it's 626.
Yeah,
June,
I think it's
June
2012. Because that's around... Oh, it might have been 2013. It happened whenever I first moved here. But it was definitely legal in some states beforehand. So it could have just been in one of those states.
Yeah, I mean, Alaska seems pretty chill, so...
Yeah, I think.
I mean,
other than the fucking bears, but...
Well, I mean, I guess...
They got bears and they have Israel Keys, the serial killer, Brandy. They're not that chill there.
Well, you put it like that. Anyways, they got married in New York. Oh. I guess I could.
Yeah, it was.
I should have finished my sentence.
It was probably legal then. We're just debating Alaska's laws.
I totally forgot about that.
Oh my god, that's funny.
But yeah, Lisa decided to take... I said, oh my god, in my notes I wrote, Lisa decided to take Lisa's last name. I meant Anna's.
Lisa took Anna's last name?
Yeah.
Okay. Close.
SMH.
It would have been great if they're both named Lisa and she took her last name and they both had the same exact name.
Yo, that was kind of creepy though.
That would have been fucking weird.
That's
weird. I would have
weird.
liked it. It would have been funny.
Yeah, that would have been funny. But no, it's just me procrastinating and fucking up my notes.
Yeah, okay. The usual.
So, backtrack a little. And
You're like, that was hilarious.
So, I'm gonna backtrack a little. When Lisa moved to Kodiak, she met her new boss, Adrian Loya. They became fast friends after discovering they'd grown up just a few hours apart.
Oh, wow.
And they were actually really close in age. I think like a year apart.
I thought you were going to say something about him, and after you said his name, I was going to say, what an asshole. And then you're like, they became close friends. And I was like, oh. Okay, don't say anything. I'm sorry. I don't want spoilers. It kind of feels fucked up when I refer to stuff as spoilers when this is real life crimes that happened. I feel like an asshole for that.
Well, I mean, it's...
But you don't know what happened.
Yeah, you don't.
I feel that way like watching true crime shows. I'm like, oh, I don't want to Google it and see spoilers. And I'm like, oh my god, someone literally died and I'm referring to this as spoilers.
But still, it's like I
want to see the process. Like how it happened, what happened.
Or it's like some of these people have never heard of, like, Lisa Trubnikova.
I have not heard of her.
So it kind of is like a spoiler.
Yeah.
So because you're like hearing it.
I'm trying to justify and be like, I'm not an asshole, you guys.
I don't think you are.
Thank you. All of our listeners are like, fucking dick.
Our listener amount is going to go down.
It was so high before, so it's totally fine. So many.
Can't even keep track.
I'm being sarcastic.
Of 100
if anyone's
of you.
listening. 100 was very kind of you to say. It's not that high.
Thank you to our 5 supporters.
Yeah. It's so weird to me that people actually listen to us still. Because sometimes I look at the numbers and I'm like, oh, this is so low. And I'm like, these are still people who took the time to listen to us and still listen to us. And I'm like, y'all are wild. You just listen to me?
Yeah, I know. Sometimes I don't like promoting myself.
Uh-huh.
Like I was wearing a shirt with the spooky shit at my physical therapy and I was like...
You embarrassed?
A little bit. Well, because she saw my shirt and she was like, they let you wear that at work? I was like, oh yeah, like I work for a cannabis company, like they don't give a fuck. And she was like, oh, okay. And I was like, it's actually for my podcast. And she was like, oh really? She's like, what is it on? I was like, almost everything.
Scary
but I'm all
stuff.
like,
spooky shit.
No, it's funny because she asked me, she was like, what are you talking about? I was like, spooky shit.
It's the perfect name, you guys.
Oh, she was like, I know, but like, and I was
the
like,
best description is just our name.
Yeah, I was like, we just talk about like ghost stories and true crime mostly.
Yeah.
And she said she was gonna look us up, but we'll see.
Hey, Brandy's physical therapist.
She's cool.
She listens to our first episode. She's like,
oh God, no. Please don't listen to that one. I should have told her, damn it. We should just take that one down. 30. Just take that one down. I want to
listen to it later on. I've been thinking about listening to it, but I have like is it secondhand embarrassment? No, it's just straight up embarrassment thinking about it.
Secondhand embarrassment.
And we laugh at everything. And I had my sister listen to it before we published it, and I was asking what I should change, and she was like, you guys keep laughing at stuff, but nothing funny is happening. And I was like, oh, that's cold.
It was funny to us in the moment.
Know. And also she censored me. I said something about fucking bitches in the episode, and she told me to take it out, and I did.
Damn.
And now I say all kinds of colorful things on here.
We be acting like sailors over here.
I know. We got sidetracked.
Hella. Anyways, thank you to our 5 listeners.
Thank you.
I'm just kidding. I know there's more of you.
There's like 25, so.
Well, I appreciate all of them.
I know, especially because I personally only know like 2 people who actually, I think maybe only Leah and like my mom, maybe one friend actually listen to us, so I really don't know everyone else.
That's true. I mean, I think my friends listen.
I was gonna say, if you think about it, if we don't have supportive friends, that means we have supportive strangers, which is cooler.
Ooh. Well, that's just sad.
No, because strangers support us too. They're our friends.
Yeah, but then
in a way.
It's sad because our friends don't support us.
Oh, I know, they're assholes. I always send Snapchats about it, and I have one friend who I know for a fact has never listened, and she's like, "Oh, cool," and I'm like, "I'm gonna give it a listen, or I've been doing this for almost a year now."
I know some of my friends, they support me quietly.
Yes, yeah, my friend just like will share stuff. It's funny, she'll share stuff on her eyelash page. The Fairy Lash Tech. Oh, fuck, I don't know if that's actually the name. If you look at who I follow, it's something with the Fairy Lash Tech if you want your eyelashes done in San Diego. But she'll, like, post stuff, like, sharing on her story about just serial killers. And I'm like, I don't know if this is really going with your audience. They're probably like, what is this shit?
But still, that's nice.
It is nice.
I mean,
yeah.
The other day, one of my friends just showed up and, like, her merch. I was like,
really?
oh, shit!
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, so I was like, you're supporting me, but quietly.
I know, I get so, like, looking at whoever bought merch, I'm like, who is this? I don't know!
That's cool.
Probably just Robert. I bought 2 orders because I didn't know.
Robert's a real one.
He is. So our first order, somebody bought 2 t-shirts, and I was convinced it was Robert, and he's like, no, it wasn't me. And I got so fucking excited because I didn't know who it was. And then, like, days later, I convinced him to finally buy 2 shirts on his own. And I found out later he actually was our first buyer, and I peer pressured him into spending over $100 on my merch. But you know what? He looks cool, so it's fine.
Nice. Now he has merch for days.
If you guys want to check out our merch, we'll say our links later. Thanks. They're really cool.
Alright, back to the story.
Were we telling a story?
I was.
Oh god, my laugh got loud there. See a spike in the recording. Sorry, go.
So they got along very well and would hang out a lot outside of work.
Oh, her and the friend.
Yeah, Adrian.
Okay.
It was Lisa and Adrian. So it is unclear to me in what order it all happened, but apparently Anna didn't really like Adrian, and what? And because
my favorite.
Oh, okay, it's because I see a A, but I erased it like halfway.
Oh.
So I still tried to say it, even though it doesn't go with the sentence. Anyways, Anna didn't really like Adrian because she thought he wanted more out of his relationship with Lisa.
Ew.
And she asked Lisa to stop inviting him over / like hanging out in general.
Oh, that's an awkward situation to be in?
Yeah, very. But yeah, Lisa ended up complying because, you know...
It's her wife.
Yeah, it's her wife, but she did try to keep it civil with him since they worked together and that was like her boss.
Yeah. They can't not speak at all.
Yeah, I mean... you see that person every day.
Yeah.
Oh, I also have to mention that he wasn't too happy about it. He actually kind of... I guess you could say was a little resentful towards Anna for, like, doing that.
Yikes.
Because...
she was
I'll talk about it... No, I'll talk about it later, but basically he was kind of like a shy, reserved dude, and he didn't really have that many friends.
Oh.
So, like,
I feel like
Lisa...
he's gonna turn out being shitty, but right now I feel bad for him before I know more about him.
Yeah. Well, Lisa was, like, his only friend, basically.
Oh my god, that's depressing,
So he was,
Brandy.
like, really hurt.
It's sad now. I feel bad for how he felt in the moment, but I'm assuming that he did something bad, and that's no excuse for it.
Mm-hmm.
I should let you finish so I could make that thought make more sense.
So, I think this happened before, but basically, Adrian claims Lisa made unwanted sexual advances towards him.
Okay. Was she bi or gay?
I'm actually not sure.
If she was bi, no one, like... Oh, bi erasure's a thing. It's literally a word for it, so no one would probably refer to her as bi anyway.
Yeah, I kind of think she was.
Okay.
Because of... You'll see.
Oh, okay.
So, according to his writings, one late night in September 2011... Or, no, not 2011. 2012.
And his writings?
His writings.
Oh, does he have, like, a journal? Oh, are you gonna get to it? Okay, I thought you were just saying this
write.
in a vague way.
No, he liked to write. I'll get to it later.
Okay, God, he probably has a creepy manifesto. Brandy, don't look at me! If you could see Brandy's eyes, right? The secrets they hold.
So Lisa invited him over when she was drunk and Anna was away on a 3-week duty.
Holy shit, that's a long time.
Yeah, it's very common with, like...
Coast Guard and stuff.
Military in general.
Military.
They could, like, be away weeks at a time.
I could never be someone in the military.
That's crazy.
Robert used to want to be a Navy SEAL, and I was like, yeah, I wouldn't date you if you were a Navy SEAL.
I used to want to be in the Marines.
Really?
But
Why?
then it's like when I started dating my wife.
She didn't want to.
Wife. And she was like...
Nah.
She was like, yeah. And my mom, too. She was just really scared, and I said, okay.
Yeah, and I was telling Robert, I was like, not even just, like, you could get killed, but you could murder somebody, and even if they were bad, like, you'd have to live with that for the rest of your life. Like, that's a lot. That's scary.
Well, when you put it like that, goddamn.
Yeah, duh. I'm not thinking of it for the fun of it. I'm thinking of it for the emotional trauma you can possibly get. Especially Navy SEALs. Shit's intense.
That's true.
He used to be very into working out and stuff. And you Brandy, you see us. With the cookies in front of you. You just play video games all day.
Delicious cookies.
I've changed him for the better.
But yeah, supposedly they were on the couch watching The Simpsons when she started to... masturbate next to him?
The usual. When you're watching Simpsons with a friend and they start to masturbate next to you. I think we've all been there.
Nope. What kind of friends do you have?
I'm the friend. That sounds like a weird, like, porn beginning where they're like, stepsister, what are you doing?
Oh, God, no.
Again, talking about the stepsister porn thing. I hate that as a trend.
He says that made him extremely anxious, and he claims Lisa then tried to kiss him and pull him by the arm into her bedroom.
Oh, if this is true, Lisa, creep. Sorry.
Despite his attraction, he repeatedly states that he could not fathom crossing that line.
Fathom.
Fathom?
It's like you said phantom.
I did say phantom. I said phantom.
You couldn't phantom.
Danny Phantom. My bad. I meant how do you say it?
Fathom.
Fathom.
I meant phantom. Sorry, phantom. Phantom. I meant ghost.
Oh. God damn it.
This is great.
I can't.
I've missed this all week.
You're welcome. And while nothing really ever happened, he had a delusional belief that Lisa raped him.
Whoa, but she didn't actually even have sex with him or anything?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How do we know? I hate to be the person asking, but I don't know the rest of the story, so I'm curious. How do we know for sure that she didn't? You get to it? You get to it. Okay.
Well, I guess we don't really... Well, okay.
Based on stuff later, it will make it seem...
Yeah.
Okay. Because where we are right now, I don't know if he's that delusional, because I don't really know anything.
Oh, yeah, he's pretty delusional.
Okay, alright, cool. I'm just in the beginning of the story. I'm just here for the ride, Brandy. I don't
Let's
know
go.
what's happening.
We're going 100 miles per hour.
Let's fucking go, man.
So according to him, Lisa apologized the next day, and they agreed to keep it a secret.
Yikes.
But apparently he was scared she might suddenly accuse him of something, so he confided in several people, but that actually backfired.
Oh no.
I guess he confided in a few. I guess he had one friend from high school, and he confided also in his dad, who he like rarely talked to.
That's
But
okay.
it kind of backfired because they just became kind of suspicious. They didn't like really feel
They
sorry
didn't
for
believe
him. Yeah, they were kind of like, why didn't you sleep with her, like type of thing.
Oh, that's kind of victim blaming, honestly, of them.
Kinda, which is kind of fucked up, but like, yeah.
Yeah. If this was a different guy, I would feel very bad for him. But
If he was an asshole.
Yeah.
So about a month later, he put in an official report on base and says he lied about being suicidal when they asked him because he was scared of being discharged. So this is all like from his writings. From his writings and like his version. Because I guess he just trying to go to like, it wasn't like an official little report. It was more like to go like get help basically.
Oh, like counselor?
Like, yeah, counselor.
We both are like counseloring. I was hoping you to correct me and you just copied me. Counseloring.
Counselor.
Counselor. Counseling. There is no R. Why am I trying to put an R?
Because you're just thinking of the word counselor.
Yes, counseloring. Counseling.
Oh, I'm so sorry,
Counseling.
people. Thank you so much for listening.
Our 25 listeners just went down to 22. Steady dropping.
Another while later, in February 2013, he decided to confront her with different sources say different things.
Okay.
It was either a 19-page or 26-page letter.
Oh.
Which he called the Lisa effect.
That sounds creepy.
He supposedly spent weeks writing it and just talked about how he has never been so scared in his life and how he has PTSD because of what she did to him that night.
Okay, because I still don't know what's happened later. This is making me feel bad for this guy. Like, I'm wondering... I know you're going to get to it. But right now, I'm just, like, so conflicted, you know? Continue. This is stressful to hear.
But yeah, apparently he emailed it to Lisa, and I guess, like, she took too long to reply, so he ended up also sending it to Anna.
Oh, okay.
To her wife.
Fuck.
So after that, Lisa finally replied and said, "Stay away from us. We don't want you anywhere near our lives."
Were you able to, like, find what he wrote in it?
No.
Oh, I mean, that's a lot anyway.
I mean, there is a lot of, like, quotes and pieces, but not, like, the whole thing.
I would be so interested to read that whole thing. I'm going to search for
It's
it after
crazy.
this. That is...
Well, I mean, I'm more interested for the... You'll see.
Oh, ooh, okay. See, Brandy always does this to me.
I do, I'm sorry. So, he then tried to report it directly to the Coast Guard investigators, like, actual put in a report in.
Uh-huh.
Because they were all in the Coast Guard.
Oh, yeah, I kind of forgot.
Even I forgot to mention that Anna
Yes.
was also in the Coast Guard.
Shit. I think
So
you
they were
said they,
all-
like, met on the job or something, but
Oh,
you didn't
that's
really
right.
specify.
Yeah, but they were all in the Coast Guard in like
Okay.
different departments. Well, Anna was,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Okay.
So he tried to report it directly, but it also backfired.
No.
The Coast Guard felt Adrian should have never put himself in that position since he was Lisa's superior.
Okay.
And I guess they kind of just laughed in his face, too, because they were like, what the fuck?
Brandy, I'm so stressed because if this actually happened, this is the most victim-blamey thing I've ever heard in my life.
I don't think it happened, though.
It probably didn't happen because I think you're gonna do crazy stuff, but other people who, like, were actually in that position probably had
Yeah,
the same
that's
reaction. Men can be raped too, you guys. Don't be fucking stupid.
So both Lisa and Adrian ended up being reprimanded.
Reprimanded.
Yes, that one.
I feel like your mom. I'm like, reprimanded. Good
I'm
job,
all looking
honey.
at you
I know.
for approval.
And meanwhile, I'm like, counseling.
Yeah, so she just got written up for alcohol use, and he, like, says that his job was threatened.
Oh, okay.
At least that's what he says.
Yeah.
But they were just
But they
like-
didn't confirm it or anything in
No.
the Coast Guard? Okay.
They were kind of just like, they transferred him.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. Shortly after, Adrian was transferred to Portsmouth, Virginia, and Lisa and Anna were relocated to Bourne,
Massachusetts.
Yes.
No, I'm also like Massachusetts. M.A. Isn't that it? Isn't that
Bourne,
the
MA. I don't know, is it?
I honestly
Or is it
don't.
MS?
I think it's
No.
Missouri. I raised my eyebrows because I was like, that was cool, right? Very Missouri.
So apparently he was even told by his therapist to avoid Lisa and let it go.
Whoa.
Like, they were like, dude.
Okay, the therapist didn't believe him?
Mm-hmm.
That makes me feel a little better about not believing him. It's just in my head, I'm like, always believe the victim, so it's very hard for me to switch right now, you know?
So, as time passed, Lisa and Anna were living life, moving on, while Adrian remained angry and decided to seek revenge.
No.
Yeah. Mainly because he believes the disciplinary letter he had on his file from the whole shebang and had lost him a promotion.
Oh.
So
he's
that was
blaming
like
them
his,
now?
yeah. Because he feels that is why they didn't promote him, so he just got even more mad.
Mm-hmm.
So we obviously didn't find out all of this until after, but apparently months leading up to the murder, he wrote a 250-page manifesto describing his relationship with Lisa and why he wanted to kill her.
Fuck. You know, if they have a manifesto, it's not a good time.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
He titled it Loya Wars.
Oh, what?
That's his last name.
Oh. Oh, God, still weirder almost that he named it that.
It's gonna get me weird.
Ay, ay, ay.
And I'm just gonna read you like a little excerpt from it.
Please do. I'm very interested.
The mission is a basic assassination mission.
This is so creepy.
Confront Lisa any way I can and terminate her.
What?
Make sure Lisa knows that it is I taking her life and why.
What the fuck?
This should be very interesting how it actually plays out. I am excited.
That's the creepiest thing I've ever heard. It's so, like, impersonal and just matter of fact. Ooh, and the choice of words, like, terminate her and all this stuff. Oh my God, that's creepy.
It'll make sense later, though.
Okay.
So, this was obviously premeditated. You could say that much. So, on February 5th, 2015, on his 31st birthday.
Wow, he's young, too.
Yeah.
Are they all around that? They're all around that age,
Yeah.
huh? Shit.
He drove 10 hours from Virginia to Mass. He parked his car right in front of the complex entryway and set it on fire to block the entry to, like, the actual... to get into the complex.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he thought this out.
Holy shit. Also, how did he know where he lived? Where she lived?
I guess he just did some research within the Coast Guard and,
It
like,
probably
figured
wasn't
it
that
out.
hard.
Yeah.
Okay.
He apparently then set up little fake bombs everywhere to throw off police.
Oh my god.
And also played, like, Star Wars music. I guess he literally had a big-ass boombox and was playing Star Wars music.
What a fucking creep.
He then got to Anna and Lisa's apartment, shot the door twice to gain entry, and proceeded up the stairs to their bedroom.
Ugh.
Let me shuffle through my notes.
Was this, like, in the middle of the night?
Oh, yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, so... Oh, I forgot to mention he had strapped a GoPro to his chest.
He wanted to videotape
Yep.
it?
Yep.
Holy shit.
He was armed with a AR-15 rifle, a pistol, and a shotgun.
Fuck.
And
Fuck.
he got there a little after, like, 2 a.m.
Oh.
So it was literally in the middle of the night.
That is so scary.
So he burst into their bedroom and began shooting, like, right away. And I guess, I don't really, like, write any notes on it, but I actually found, like, an actual video of Anna retelling, like, everything. And it's just, it was really kind of hard to, like, listen to because she, like, starts crying.
Wife died.
Yeah, but basically she says that, like, they were in bed, and she, like, heard a noise. Like, they both woke up because they heard a noise, but they were like, it's nothing. It's probably, like, the cat or something.
It was him, like, shooting their door,
Yeah.
probably. Fuck.
And then, like, next thing they know, like, he, like, bursts in, and he has a ski mask, and he, like, takes it off. But they were quick. They were, what do you call it? Like, quick thinking, and they actually, like, rolled over and, like,
Like, we're able to get up the bed?
yeah, like, they kind of, like, flipped the mattress, so
Oh,
it's
like
on
a
top of them.
barricade, kind of.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But,
That probably didn't help that kind of gun, though.
No, well, he actually shot with his pistol.
Oh, okay.
But, yeah, he still kept firing, though, until he emptied his clip. After they flipped over, he was still, like, shooting through the mattress.
Fuck.
And, like, Anna was, like, basically, they played a clip of a 911 call, too. Oh my god, I was, like, I couldn't finish it.
Too emotional?
Yeah, I was like, fuck, dude, I'm gonna start crying. But, yeah, she says, like, she doesn't even remember, like, calling 911. She just did it and, like, was basically, like, on the phone with them for over an hour.
It took them that long to get there?
You'll see why. But, yeah, she was basically, like, begging them, like, just sobbing and, like, please, like, hurry. Like, I don't know if he's gonna come back. And
oh my god, that is so scary.
It's very sad. So, first responders were having a hard time gaining entry because of the car that was lit on fire. And then also,
all the bombs?
Yeah, the fake bombs everywhere. They were just scared.
Shit.
But I guess that was his plan. His original plan was to, have a shootout with the police and get killed.
Fucking asshole.
Yeah, because, like, right after he, like, finished emptying his clip, he fled the apartment but stayed in the complex and was basically waiting around for police because he was, like, gonna have a shootout with them.
Oh my god.
So he created more distractions, like scattering the hoax bombs and cranking theme songs to Batman Begins and James Bond.
Ew.
Yeah, it's pretty weird.
That is so creepy.
So at approximately 2:48 a.m., an officer did appear, and as soon as Adrian Loya saw his silhouette, he shot and killed him.
Oh, you're not gonna get killed in a shootout if you just fucking kill him, Adrian?
Yeah, it was Officer Jared McDonald.
Oof.
One of the bullets actually ended up hitting the officer's spine, which, like, yeah, he just
was out.
Done.
Yeah, fuck.
And Adrian eventually got bored of waiting for the police to have a shootout with him. So ultimately he just decided to surrender and was taken into custody.
Oh, shit. So he didn't even die? I thought he would, like, kill himself or something, honestly. Pussy.
So once first responders finally arrived, it was too late for Lisa. She was just 32 years old.
Fuck.
She had been shot 11 times. One of those, but luckily, one of those killed her instantly. Like, she didn't really suffer.
She was dead the entire time, and her wife was just with her dead body for an hour trying to get help.
Yeah, she was literally on the phone for an hour.
Oh my god. That is so sad.
Very.
Holy shit.
Anna was shot 4 times and was in critical condition.
She was shot too?
Yeah.
Oh my god. So she was just there for an hour in pain.
Yeah. So sad. Well, I mean, I feel like the adrenaline kind of like helped, but
and
still.
And the grief too, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Fuck.
It's sad.
That's terrifying. I'm already trying to think of like, how could I protect my apartment for situations like this? I can't.
Yeah, it's very sad.
Fuck.
So she fortunately made a full recovery and was able to testify against Adrian in a recorded... Oh, snap. Just kidding. That's the next sentence.
It's okay.
So, in a recorded interview with police the next morning, he basically confessed, telling them that he had been planning the attack for at least 10 months. He's wild.
Scary.
Yeah, at his trial, they played the 911 call, and it was hard for her to hear. Like, they actually had a video on the article I was, like, reading, and, like, she literally, like, started, like, sobbing, so they, like, let her go outside.
That's traumatizing.
It was very sad, like, just, you can hear the panic in her voice, and, like, oh, please, hurry up, like, begging.
Oh my god.
It makes me so sad. But, yeah. He was charged and found guilty of first-degree murder for the death of the officer and Lisa.
Fuck.
But I thought it was funny that he really tried to plead not guilty.
He tried.
Like he
For what reason?
Right?
You videotaped it too, didn't you?
Yeah.
Stupid ass.
But I mean, I guess he did eventually admit to the jury that he was guilty, and so obviously they found him guilty.
Yeah.
He was sentenced to life in prison without parole.
Okay. Good.
And this year in February, he actually tried to petition for a new trial, but it was rejected in a 21-page decision.
Fuck.
He tried to argue that current law on criminal responsibility deprived him, of a proper defense.
Oh, like he had a shitty lawyer?
Yeah, basically.
I mean, you admitted that you killed her, so that probably didn't help.
Yeah, that's basically what the Supreme Court said. They were like, nope. I have a little excerpt.
I actually only think, I don't know.
Yeah, me too. We are left with no doubt that mental illness played a central role in this crime, but the testimony of 2 experts that Loya could confirm his actions to the law and understand the wrongfulness of his brutal actions was sufficient support for the jury verdict. So they basically were like, no new trial, and yes, it's like being upheld.
And they're like, yes, you're mentally ill, but not the kind of mentally ill that you kill somebody.
Yeah, or like
I have depression and anxiety. If I killed somebody, they wouldn't be like, oh, it was the depression.
Yeah, definitely not. But yeah, they actually had the 2 experts testify, and I'll talk a little more about that.
Okay.
But it's funny, or I thought it was interesting, that they had 2 different, like, they both taught 2 different things.
Oh.
2 different illnesses, but both, like, definitely thought something was wrong with him, basically. One said that he had delusional disorders, schizoid personality disorder. Oh, wait, I fucked that up.
I was gonna say, I've never heard of that before.
So, one said he had delusional disorder exacerbated?
And I think, like, kind of amplified?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how to pronounce it, but yeah.
By major depressive disorder.
Oh, okay.
Schizoid personality disorder, which is...
Schizophrenic?
Yeah, kind of
similar.
Yeah, and while the other said he had avoidant personality and borderline personality disorders.
I know borderline at least. I know one.
And a third expert just says that he has
Asperger's?
Yes,
okay.
syndrome.
All not good enough reasons to kill someone, though, it turns out.
But it just kind of makes sense. Like, if he really did have, like, autism, the fact that they're not really good, like, social skills, like, he did keep to himself. Like, I was just kind of like, what?
It could have contributed to how he was socially.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But lots of people don't murder people.
Yeah,
so.
that's true.
That was a whole nother issue he had going on.
Yeah. But I definitely think that delusional disorder, I feel like he totally just kind of, like, misconstrued everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I should have wrote it down, but I was basically, like my own thoughts. I totally forgot.
You're like my own thoughts, which I have no recollection of.
Yeah, I was, like, thinking of, well, because when I was writing my notes last night, I was, like, thinking about it. I was, like, trying to, like, just, not justify it, but, like...
Understand it?
Understand it.
Okay.
And I did have a good ass, like...
A good ass.
Good... I did have, like, a good ass, like, understanding, but I didn't write it down, and now I forgot.
You can no longer understand it.
I am Confucian.
It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. No, that's fucking scary, though.
I mean, I think from what I'm trying to remember is I don't think anything happened that night.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe it's kind of twisted. He was the one that tried it and was rejected, so he kind of just flipped it in his mind.
He was so embarrassed that he was like, actually she did that.
Yeah, that's kind of what I feel happened.
Okay.
I mean,
or just nothing happened, honestly.
Yeah, or nothing happened and he just was obsessed with her.
Yeah.
And the fact that she was, like, married to a woman kind of made him mad, and that her wife, like, didn't like him. Just kind of all of it.
Yeah, that's... I can't even begin to imagine what he was thinking.
Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, he's still serving his life sentence.
He's gonna be serving that for a minute.
Yeah.
For life.
Yeah, I think he's like 36 now.
Wow, this is very recent.
Yeah, it was only 5 years ago.
That's scary.
Well, it's gonna be 6 in February.
Shit.
But it's very recent. It's just crazy.
Yeah, I didn't see that anywhere whenever I was doing research.
You know, I like to find those ones that you don't find.
I know. I just need to start searching, like, LGBT after everything I search.
Well, I mean, I just, like, kind of pull up different articles, and then from there I choose. Like, I actually, like, I feel like we should do this again, because there's so many, like...
There's so many.
I literally found a whole ass, like, Tumblr page of just mini stories, and they even have, like, the articles linked. And I'm like, fuck, dude.
We could do another one where we just... Because, like, for mine, at least, I'm going to tell you guys in a second, like, it was hard to find a lot of information, because a lot of these... For some reason, they didn't get a lot of media attention. So we could honestly do an episode where we talk about fucking, like, 10 of them. Because some of these are so short.
Mm-hmm.
We're definitely going to do the subject again, though.
Yeah, we should.
It was very unfortunate Googling, seeing how many stories I could find.
Oh my god, there's so many.
So many, it's terrifying.
It's ridiculous.
There's so many I've, like, heard about, too, on Twitter, like, years ago. Like, I'd see a headline that I couldn't even find doing this. Because there's so many new ones, like, covering it up.
It's wild. Like, just because, like... I mean, it's mostly guys. I'm not saying all guys, but
obviously.
Mostly guys that get rejected. Like, they fucking...
It's male entitlement, which I talk about later.
180 and fucking go crazy.
Yeah, it's very scary.
Well, it's crazy how common that is. Like, I remember, like, even, like, when they try to hit on you.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, hey, and then you're like, no. And then they're like, you're fat anyway, or some bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, I talk more about harassment stories at the end, because my story, it's, like, really short, so yeah, I do talk about, like, different street harassment, and I hit up my sisters, and I don't know if I'll say their name, she doesn't listen. Cherie had some fucking crazy stories that I'm gonna tell you. Yes. Yeah. I'll start now so we can get to it. Cool. But, my story is very short, so I planned on us having a discussion at the end of it.
Cool.
Okay, so this week I'm going to be talking about Mary Spears, who also went by Unique. I'm just going to keep calling her Mary, though, for the story, because in every article I read, they just referred to her as Mary. So, unfortunately, like I said, I wasn't able to find too much about Mary's life. What I do know is that at the time of her death, she was only 27 years old. She was engaged and living in Detroit, Michigan. I also know that she had 3 sons who were 8, 4, and 1 year old, and that, from what I could tell, she was a good mother. Already depressing. In the early hours of October 5th, 2014, Mary was at American Legion Lewis Post number 375. So I don't know what that is. That's just what I saw people call it. So I Googled it and saw a quote that said, American Legion is a nationwide organization for war veterans of the United States of America. The organization was created to promote veterans' needs and concerns. Joe Louis Post 375 is involved in the establishment of a place where veterans can meet and also do community work and services. So I think it's just like a community center, social club thing. I don't know if they had a bar or what, but yeah, just a hangout spot. So she was there with family, as earlier that day they had actually gone to a funeral for a different family member, and this is where the memorial service is being held for them. So while there, 38-year-old Mark Dortch began to hit on Mary. She politely told him no, saying she wasn't interested and that she didn't want to talk to him, but he was persistent and kept asking for her name and phone number. I read that he was disrespecting her fiance too, who was nearby, but I couldn't find like exactly what the guy was saying, or if they meant just by like hitting on her. He was being disrespectful, or maybe both, like hitting on her and talking shit. I don't know. So Mark was harassing Mary so much that at a certain point, security actually had to force him to leave and took him out into the front of the building. Around 2 a.m., Mary and her family were leaving when they again encountered Mark outside. He began to hit Mary and a fight broke out, and Mary's fiance got involved and was like trying to defend her. Mark suddenly pulled out a gun and shot Mary once. She tried to run away and he shot her 2 more times in the head.
Jeez.
He kept shooting like out in a fucking crowd, I'm guessing, and shot 5 more people in Mary's like group that she was with, 2 men and 3 women. The 2 men were a 28-year-old who was shot in the left calf and a 30-year-old who was shot in the foot. One of these was her fiance, but I couldn't find exactly who it was. And the 3 women included a 23-year-old who was shot in the right calf, a 32-year-old who was hit in the right hip, and a 41-year-old in the left ankle. The ankle seems like it would shatter, I imagine.
Oh, that must hurt like a bitch. And the hip, too.
And the hip. All these bony areas.
Well, that's true.
Yeah. No thanks. So, yeah, I wasn't able to find names of any of these victims. One of them was fiance. They're both such similar ages to her, I can't even make a guess as to which one it was. But thankfully, everyone else was able to recover. So, by the time police arrived, Mary had died from her gunshot wounds. They found no other weapons or guns at the scene and were able to catch Mark, who had attempted to run. They confiscated his gun and took him into custody. So Mark Dortch was charged with first-degree murder and assault with intent to murder. In June of 2015, he was found guilty of these charges and sentenced to 30 to 60 years in prison. During his sentencing, Mark apologized to Mary's family, saying, "I deeply apologize for what happened that night. It wasn't my intention to go looking for trouble." Which is the biggest bullshit. You shot somebody 3 times, twice in the head, and then a bunch of their family, but you weren't looking for trouble. You're a fucking moron. And that is actually it for my story. I spent hours searching. I was like searching her name on Facebook. I actually found her Facebook, and it's really sad for me for some reason to see people's social media knowing that they're dead. But I was trying to find any like videos of people like talking about her, and there was like nothing. And I wonder if it is maybe potentially because she was a black woman that it was getting less attention, or if it's just because it was in Detroit and I know that there is more crime there. But like, I'd never heard her story before.
Yeah.
I don't know. And it was,
I feel like it's a mixture of everything. Or just because, you know, mostly men are in power. Yeah. They don't want that kind of story.
Yeah. Makes them all look bad. Because they are bad.
Men are trash.
Yeah, Robert, fuck you.
No, not all of them.
Just kidding. So, after reading that, I started doing some research about, like, street harassment, sexual harassment. So, a survey by a nonprofit called Stop Street Harassment found that 81% of women and 43% of men had experienced some form of sexual harassment in their life, ranging from verbal harassment to sexual assault. And 66% of women in the survey reported that they've been sexually harassed in public spaces. Which, I got these percentages from an article quoting this. I tried to find it on their actual website, and I just found an older study, and that study said 99% of women that they talked to had reported street harassment. So, that a lot.
Seems about right.
Honestly, yeah, it does, right? So, it also showed that men are more often the perpetrators of sexual harassment. And when looking at the responses to sexual harassment or assault, just 1% of the women in the study say that they confronted their harasser, while 31% felt anxious or depressed, 23% changed up their routine or regular routine, and 5% of these women even moved homes to avoid the person.
Damn.
So it really showed like just how difficult it could be to confront somebody. Like 4% more people would literally rather move than confront somebody. But like for good reason, because she told this guy no and he fucking murdered her. Like you never know what someone's gonna do.
It's fucking scary.
Honestly, like I I just wrote like male entitlement. So I didn't know what to write. I just wanted to discuss male entitlement for a second, because a lot of guys, I don't know if it's the way that they're like raised, where they're like, oh, you guys are protectors, you need to be aggressive and strong, and women are all like meek and need your help and blah blah blah, but they got a complex going on, honestly. And they just like see a woman and they're like, oh, I should be allowed to look at her, touch her, talk to her, and that's my right to do so. I'm like, it's not though, bro. It's not. You can't fucking do that.
It's definitely not attractive.
It is the least attractive thing in the world, is being harassed. If somebody's being nice to you while you're harassing them, they're probably scared of you. So just leave them alone. And I could already hear people now being like, well, how am I supposed to get to know somebody? And I'm like, I'm going fucking Tinder. I don't know. Go online.
Well, I mean, get the hints. Like, if they're not interested, they're not fucking interested. You'll know when they're interested.
Yeah. They'll actually seem like they want to be there, not like they're fake smiling and have a fear in their eyes.
Yeah, like, literally.
So,
or, like, if they straight up say no, that means no, not keep talking to me, keep trying.
but I know a lot of people are also afraid to say no.
That's true.
Because I don't know. Because, like, people could get violent if you say no, or they could get scary. Like, I know, I haven't had this happen to me or anything, but I've definitely read stories of people who, like, will give a fake number to a guy, and the guy will start dialing the number, like, in front of them to see if it works and stuff like that. So you never know. Like, the person could be crazy. Just make it tender and don't talk to anyone in person. Leave everyone alone.
Or you can give them your real number and then just block them.
That's what I would always think. But I don't know. I have all these ideas in my head of what I would do if someone got creepy with me. First one is cry.
Have you, well, I guess that wouldn't really work. But I've seen, like, where some girls say to, like, give a phone number to, like, some, like, service or something. Fuck, I forgot.
That sounds, like, vaguely familiar. What if they recognize the number, though? If they're creepy on people so often that they've gotten this number. People are scary. Don't talk to me when I'm walking around. Leave me alone. And don't...
Just give them your dad's number.
My dad's so weird. Once me and Leah, like, called the house phone, and or maybe someone called us, and he, like, didn't recognize our voice, and we started talking in a deep voice, and we're like, hello, to sound like a guy. My dad, whenever he's talking to guys, he's like a peacock, and he, like, puffs up and stuff, and he starts talking in a deeper voice. He's like, who the hell is this? And we're like, it's your daughter, idiot.
That's funny.
He's so weird. But, yeah. Nobody is entitled to, like, talk to you. Like, you don't automatically deserve a response just because you're speaking to someone.
Damn world.
You don't own this damn
You don't know.
Yeah. You don't owe the world either, maybe. I don't know. You know, my little speech, I was hoping to just wing it, but I'm not good at winging it. So maybe I should have wrote exactly what I wanted to say. But I also wanted to tell you guys some stories of, like, people. I asked, like, my friend and some of my sisters, like, if they had stories of being harassed. I got a couple answers. So my friend Sophia, shout out Sophia, she's the one who does my lashes. If you guys want to follow her skincare page, it is Elusive Glow on Instagram. It's just her lash page. I don't remember the name. But anyway, I was talking to Sophia, like, on FaceTime yesterday and asking her, like, if she had any examples. And she's like, well, I don't know if this counts, but, like, whenever she's in high school, I guess her boyfriend would, like, walk her to class. She was in a class with, like, some older students and stuff. I think they were, like, a couple years older, or maybe just one. And this other guy in her class would, like, get dropped off by his friends. I say dropped off, just walking them to class. With, like, his friends when they were, like, basketball players, which already sounds annoying if you know how high school teenage boy basketball players are. They're just, like, loud and obnoxious and douchey.
Any of the kids that were
any
in
teenager,
sports.
and especially sports. They're really cocky for some reason. They scare me now as an adult, and I'm like, you guys are too loud. I'm scared.
They were super cocky, bro.
It's so annoying.
They thought they owned the school.
Yeah. I didn't even go to public high school, but even in, like, middle school, I feel like I knew people like that. But, yeah, so she said that she would walk to class and her boyfriend would kiss her goodbye, and the group of guys would, like, harass her after and be like, oh, are you gonna kiss us goodbye stuff? And she's like, I don't know if that counts. And I'm like, no, that's definitely creepy.
Yeah.
That's fucking weird. And you kind of also normalize some of the stuff that you hear. Because I was gonna share a story of my own that I was like, oh, does this even count? But I guess I'll explain first. Okay, so whenever I was like 18, I went to a New Year's Eve party with my sister Cherie. We were like kind of going all over the place. And we went to this one house party, and there was this dude there who was like 30, and he was talking to me about how whenever he was my age, he was like hooking up with this older woman who like taught him a bunch of sexual things. I don't know, like kind of hinting that I should be like that with him or something, maybe. And I thought it was fucking weird, and whenever we left, he like smacked my ass whenever we were leaving. It was gross.
Fuck?
And now, like, I think about that and I'm like, oh, that wasn't that big of a deal. That happens to everyone. And I'm like, oh, no, that's definitely super creepy and should not happen to everyone.
Definitely should not.
It should not. And then some more stories. This is just fun share time. When Leah, that's my sister. If you guys didn't listen to her earlier episode, she used to be on this with us. I reference her a lot, considering that people could just start listening. But we were at a gas station when we were like 11 and 12 with our friend Emily. And this older dude was there with like his kid around our age. And he was like joking around and like, I don't know if he's a dad or a grandpa, but he was like pointing at us and being like, oh, which one of them do you want? Which one do you want to take home? And stuff like that. And we're like, sir, we are children. You cannot buy us. It was just a good time. And then like dating a girl, I think I talked about this in our what was it called? Pride episode on Black Trans Lives Matter. But we got harassed a lot whenever I was with a girl. Like a guy at the club was just like kept bothering us and saying like he could take both of us and stuff like that. And
I've heard that too.
Mm-hmm. And a guy like yelling us on the street saying like I think it's something like he'd want to hold one of our hands too or something. It's like little things. I'm like, why do you feel the need to yell that when you could not? You could just shut up and not say anything.
Like, keep it to yourself. Mm-hmm. Why do you need to let everyone know? Exactly. I feel that. Yeah. I went through that too.
Yeah, you did. Mm-hmm. It is not fun. And the getting hit on that guy, like both of us, that was kind of a good example. Like, we told him no. We even told him that we were in a relationship. And instead of respecting that, he was like, oh, I could hook up with both of you. And we're like, that's not what I meant, dude. No. Fuck you. Oh, and somebody in Las Vegas was following us in a parking garage after he asked for our numbers and we said no. He followed us to our car. And whenever I was reading stories, I read about one woman who was like 19 or something. I say woman, she was very young. She was still a teenager. And she was getting followed by a guy in a parking lot that she rejected, and he ended up like choking her out and sexually assaulting her, and she died.
Jeez.
And I thought about like my story whenever I read that, and I was like, oh my god, I got so lucky that like this guy didn't try to get violent with us or anything. It's scary. That was too real. And then what was another one? I had a friend in the 7th grade whose grandma worked at like a bar. It was like older like veterans would hang out there, kind of like the place I was talking about earlier. So we would like go and like just play like pool there and stuff, and she was very developed for a 7th grader. She had very big boobs, and they would like make comments towards her, like sexual comments, and these were like 50-plus-year-old men, and she was 12, and that's never gonna stop being creepy. And then these are my last 3 examples. I'm sorry. I know a lot of these fucked up stories, it turns out. I realize. It's
very common.
It is so common, you guys. So my sister Cherie, I asked her about it, and she said, like, once when she was working at a restaurant, she was carrying a huge tray of food at work, and a drunk guy grabbed her ass and had to be kicked out by security.
What the fuck?
Another time, she had a boyfriend who, like, was not a great guy, and whenever she broke up with him, he kind of like went fucking crazy, and I guess he would track her and he would show up to her apartment in the middle of the night, and it was so sketchy that she was supposed to go over to my older sister's house once in the morning and accidentally overslept, and like my sister literally assumed that he'd hurt her and was freaking out. I think I might have told you that, like, I went to go check on her because he was so scary that she just like thought that he attacked her or something. It was intense, yes. And then this one, I remember hearing about whenever I was younger. I'll say more in a second. So she was walking home from work whenever she was like 21, and some guy on the street just hit on her, and she laughed and asked if that line really worked, and he punched her in the face.
What the fuck? Mm-hmm. No way.
Yeah. So I'm an asshole. Whenever I was little, I remember hearing a story that she got punched in the face by some guy. And I was like, oh, what'd she do? And I was like making jokes. And I'm like, oh no. Oh no.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
So,
No.
literally. So it's like, oh, just tell them no. You tell them no, they literally punch you in the face, or in Mary's case, shoot you in the head. Like, there's no way out. It sucks. And I think also, from what I could tell, harassment against black women especially seems to be like even worse because of their way that like they could be like so hypersexualized in media and stuff, and they're seen as like exotic or different compared to like European standards. So I read about this woman who was named Sarah Bartman. Her real name was actually Sarati, from the 1800s. And she had like wide hips and a big butt. And because of this, she was taken across European fairs and traveling shows and was put on display for people.
What the fuck?
And they would pay to look at her and pay extra to poke her butt with sticks and stuff. Because she was seen as being like, I don't know, just like savage or something, and like literally just like a fucking object for people to look at. And I don't think that history has come that far, because people still feel like they could just look at women like they're objects. And it's just fucked up. And this, I don't even know where I'm going with this sentence. It's just fucked up. I feel like it's especially fucked up for black women, and it's like, just leave everyone alone, you guys. If any men are listening to this, stop bothering people.
They don't want you.
They don't want you. And there's many times I've had people like honking at me and stuff on the street, or like whistling, and it's always creepy. Sometimes they would make me think like, oh, I must look good. I was also reading about percentages of people who think it's compliments, and it's usually people who are like teenagers or young adults who consider it a compliment, and then as you get older, they're like, oh, this isn't a compliment. This is fucking weird. It is gross. But, yeah, just wanted to share that good time with you. You know, once I think I was getting followed by a car in my mom's neighborhood, but I'm not totally sure. Because I was walking on the street getting the mail, because I was on homeschool, so that'd be like my exercise. I would go get the mail. And I swear I saw the same car pass me twice, like they had driven in a loop to go past me. And it was very scary.
Yeah. Well, especially when I had my long hair.
People would bother you?
Yeah. What bothered me and others, like, too.
Oh, no. Are you guys together?
Yeah.
Why do they, especially couples? I'm like, you can see that they are in a relationship, you fool.
Yes. Did I ever tell you the story about on our first date?
You might have, but remind me and our listeners.
What if I already told you guys?
If they listened to our Pride episode, that was a long time ago anyway, so I think that's what
Did I say it then?
Oh, I don't know if you guys know, but during our Pride episode, the audio turned off for 20 minutes. So I actually don't know if this was in it. You told me. Remember?
That's right.
That was so. We told our entire coming out stories, and I looked at the audio, and I was like, "Holy shit!"
We had stopped.
And then we had to say it again. Act
we had
surprised.
to say it again, and then
I was like, "What is slightly different?"
Yeah, I don't even remember if I said everything I had said the first time.
I know. I don't remember if it ended up being in it again. So just say it anyway. And I don't remember exactly what happened anyway.
Okay, well. Basically, it was our first date, and we went to the Oceanside Pier, and we were basically just trying to kill time because we were gonna see a movie that's like right there. The movie that's right there by the pier, and we were just chilling on these like, it was like one of those like concrete like picnic tables.
Oh, okay.
In the corner. I don't know if you're familiar with Oceanside.
I haven't been to Oceanside in a long time.
Oh, well, near the pier, there's, like, an area with, like, picnic tables. And it's actually kind of, like, right across, like, where there's a little playground.
Oh, okay. That sounds nice.
But, yeah, we were just chilling there. And, like, it was obviously, like, our first date. So we were kind of, like, shy.
Awkward and weird.
Yeah, we were, like, awkward and weird. But we were, like, sitting right next to each other. Like, talking to each other, basically. And this guy, like, walks up to us, and I could, like, see him, like, approaching. I'm like, fuck, because I'm like, I already know.
You knew.
I already know.
Ugh.
Like, I already know, and he approached us, and he was like, hey. Like, and it's funny, because he didn't really, like, directly make it clear to which one he was talking. Like,
whoever's down to talk back to him.
Yeah, basically. Well, my wife used to be like super shy. Like she literally like kept her head down.
She still seems kind of shy.
She kind of is. But I guess I'm kind of shy. But when it comes down to it, I guess I am a little more outgoing. And
I was gonna say you are, and I was like, well, I'm on a podcast where you have to talk half the time, so.
Well, Wait, when it, like, I actually have to, like, I'm not gonna just, like, stare at you, you know? I'll actually talk to you. But yeah, basically he walked up and he was like, hey, like, you guys are kind of cute, like, can I have your number?
Only kinda, too.
Yeah, I was like, well, because he was, like, kind of like a wannabe, like, gangsterish dude.
Oh, God.
And he was like, can I have your number? And then I was like, no. And he was like, come on. And I was like, no.
Take the L, bro.
Yeah, and then I was like, no. I'm like, no, dude. I was like, no, like, I'm here. Like, this is we're on a date right now. Like, can you leave us alone?
You tainted your first date, too. Because now you're always going to remember that on your first date with your wife.
Exactly. It was just really is tainted. But yeah, I was like, no. And it was kind of pissing me off. And my wife was just kind of shy, like, with her head down. Like, she didn't even say shit. And I was, like, literally starting to get mad. And she laughs about it now. And she was like, he was hitting on you. I was like, I'm pretty sure he was hitting on, like, both of us or you, but, like...
And whoever would take him up on it.
Yeah, and I was like, I was the only one talking to him, so obviously it seems like he was hitting on me.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically, like, I was like, no, dude, like, leave us alone. And he, like, walks away, and, like, he was with his buddies, and then...
Isn't it extra creepy when they have friends nearby, too?
Yeah.
I'm like, are they all gonna come bother me now?
Oh,
Fuck.
God. But yeah, basically, maybe, like, a minute or so later, he comes back. And he was like, so you guys are together? And I was like, yeah, dude, I just told you, we're on a date. And he was like, can you guys kiss for me? And I'm like,
whoa,
fuck no, get the fuck out of here, dude. I was
that
like...
is so creepy.
Yes. I mean, he was
God.
young. He did look like my age or a little older.
Still
But
creepy.
I was like, no, dude, I'm like, we haven't even had our first kiss yet. Like, chill.
Oh my God. That's so traumatizing for you guys' first date.
Actually, I think we had a kiss.
You
but...
little hoes. You're like, yeah, we kissed.
But yeah, I was like, dude, like, I was literally getting so annoyed, and so after that, I was like, no, dude, like, fuck off. And then we basically just got up and, like, went to go walk on the pier because I was, like, annoyed.
So creepy.
And it's just like, I literally said no, like, no thanks, not interested, like, we're together, like, we're on a date.
And he kept
and still,
trying.
He was like, come on, like, let me get your number.
I know.
It's and then he changed it. Yeah, and then he's like, kiss for me.
Ugh,
like,
that is the creepiest
like,
thing ever.
Basically, he was, like, trying to say, like, I want to make sure you're not lying. And I was like, no, dude, like... I'm not gonna fucking...
Even if you were lying, fuck off.
I'm actually pretty sure I said, I'm not gonna, like, give you a fucking show.
Ew! He's so creepy.
Not for free, at least? No, I'm just kidding.
That is terrifying. I think I read about, like, a lesbian couple, like, last year, who they were, like, in, I don't know, fucking England or something. They kind of went viral, because there's a picture of them afterwards, but some guys, like, were bothering them, like, on some public transport thing and told them to kiss and they wouldn't and they beat them up.
Oh, yeah,
do you remember
I did. Yeah,
everyone's seen that. Yeah, it's scary.
It's just crazy.
As well as not being creepy, don't be homophobic, motherfuckers.
It's because they don't get what they want.
They don't get what they want and they're like, oh, this isn't fair, I'm a baby.
Basically. It's
Male
just
entitlement.
It's literally, it's just ridiculous.
Sorry that, like, half this episode was just us sharing intense stories. Well, hey, that's what we do anyway, isn't it?
Yeah.
The entire episode was intense stories.
we do that on the reg.
Spooky shit, you guys. You're here for it. Spooky shit, the realest spooky shit is street harassment. Leave us alone.
No, it's crazy.
Whoops, sorry. Yeah. It's definitely scary. I always just try to, like, look down and not speak to anyone whenever I'm walking in public places.
That's like my wife.
Yeah.
I'm, like, trying to think of more instances, which I'm sure there's more, but I can't really think
there's
of them.
stuff that, like, you don't remember them, and then you remember one, and it's like an avalanche, so you're like, oh my God, I have had so many weird things like this happen to me. Once I was at a gas station, and a guy was standing, like, a foot behind me when I was at the ATM, and I moved forward, and he moved forward too, so he was right behind me as well. I don't know if he was trying to be creepy or if he's trying to look at my credit card, but I was like, you're coming off a little sexual assaulty right now, dude. Get away from me.
Actually, that just reminds me. I used to take the bus in high school, like the actual public bus.
Okay.
And I remember it always used to be packed, like in the mornings.
I bet everyone was taking to school and work and stuff.
Yeah, like it was a lot. It was very common for kids. to like take the bus.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually remember like this guy, because I was kind of had to be in the middle, like holding on to the railing, and this guy was like basically like brushing himself up against me.
What?
Yeah, like he
Ew.
kept, like every time the bus would turn, he would kind of just get closer to me, like because you know how like bus will lean, like when you're standing in the middle, you kind of lean.
You sway a little.
Yeah, and so he would kind of like get closer, and I was like,
You were a child, Brandy.
I was a child.
Ew.
But a wee lad.
Stuff like that. Also, I feel like people are like, "Well, that's just normal," and I'm like, "That should not
No,
be
it's not
normal.
fucking normal.
It's
He
fucking
was-
weird."
I literally like kept scooting away from him, and he would get closer, and I was like,
Oh,
back then I was kind of more shy, and I wouldn't say anything.
yeah.
But yeah,
And you say something, and you get punched in the face.
Yeah.
Apparently, so.
I mean, he was a really like bigger dude than me too.
Was he older? Or was he also like?
He looked older. He looked like a senior. I might have been like a sophomore or freshman.
That is so fucking creepy.
I mean, he just looked like a bigger dude.
Yeah.
Like, he was a bigger dude. I don't know. He was way taller. I mean, I'm not that tall.
Yeah. Same
yeah.
height. You definitely would not want to fight him on a public bus.
Yeah, no. I mean, there wasn't that much room either.
Yeah.
Like, it was totally packed.
That's scary. Yeah. I'm just thinking more like stories. I'm like, huh. Okay. Now I'm just going to creepy people in general. Guys on Omegle. Have you been on Omegle?
Mm-hmm.
It's the first time everyone's seen a penis is on Omegle.
True.
Yeah. That was a good time. Shall we end the episode on Omegle?
Sure.
I don't need to go into
Yeah,
that.
I mean, I can't really think of any more stories.
I'm sure
that
you,
I
on
have.
your drive home, you'll be like, oh, fuck,
I'll
there's
be like,
100
damn,
more.
there was that one. That was a really good one.
We'll do this episode again, and I'm sure we'll all have so much more sexual harassment stories to share. So if you guys would like us to tell us your insane stories, I mean, if you want us to share it, we can. I
If
don't
you
know.
want to share your crazy ass sexual assault story, or not assault,
Harassment.
Yeah.
If you guys have had any guy, like, freak, even a girl, I guess, if you've had anyone freak out because you reject them, tell us, because we're trying to prove a point here. It is very prevalent. You can email us at thespookyshit.pod@gmail.com. Our Twitter and Instagram is spookyshit_pod, and our website is spookyshit-pod.com. And you can send us messages, like, from any of those, I believe, or just, like, message us on Instagram, email us, DM us, whatever. And you could also buy our merch. Sorry to subject change real quick. But we have merch now, and it's so nice. And I have 2 shirts and sweatpants, and they're so comfortable. And I have a blanket and a mug and a mask on the way. I'm unemployed, but I'm choosing to buy less food to buy merch. It's an active choice I'm making. But thank you guys as always for listening. And we'll catch you again next week. Bye!
Bye.